Friends, foes, and everyone in between, welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. Honestly, if you're a foe, I'm not really sure why you're listening, but also I kind of get it. You know, you gotta keep up with what the motherfuckers are doing. You gotta get ready to take us down. And I'd like to see you try. First off, happy Halloween, or at the very least, the day after Halloween. You will be hearing this the day after. But we are recording the day before, so we are on the eve of Hallows Eve, or Halloween. I guess today would be Hallows Eve. Is it? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Right. So with me on this frightful evening is Elvie.
Hello. I think this is my third consecutive time I've been here. I've somehow been here the past 2 weeks. So I think I deserve my honorary, stamp-in prize, right? Actually, I don't know how much we have to get stamps for to get the prize. I think we've discussed this before.
I thought it was five that we agreed on. When I had made it to 4, and we were like, one more, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go next week.
I don't know. I mean, I have to figure out what the prize actually is. What would be a good prize for a podcast streak? Just like, I don't know, like $10 in Steam money or something like that?
Ooh, whoa.
Not having to play Marvel's Avengers or an Ubisoft game.
I can't do that.
I think that is something you do out of your own volition.
Yeah,
so,
that's
unfortunately.
Yeah, you're right.
I can't control you. I can't control you self-harming like that. Like you're the one making the choice, and even though I'm standing there saying no, Christine, don't do it. Christine is also here. Christine, you don't have to play Marvel's Avengers or Watch Dogs or whatever other bad AAA game. Yet you still do.
Yet I still keep doing it.
You do. Folks, not only is it the most horrifying time of the year, both Halloween and election season, which, I'm not gonna harp too much on that because, elections are bullshit, but also, God, we need to do something about all this bullshit. So, do what you want, go with your heart, and I will not argue with you unless you're voting for the fascist, in which case, eat shit. But I don't think anyone listening to this is, so don't worry about it. I'm not worried about that. Just, do what your heart tells you to do.
Is it really an argument if you're just telling the person to fuck off and not actually caring about what they say in response?
I guess not. No, I'm not arguing at all.
It's not really an argument, so you're still not arguing.
Yeah,
you're just, fuck off.
Then I'm not arguing at all.
It's better for yourself because you know where they stand and you know they're not going to, unfortunately, they're not going to change their opinion, I think.
Yes. I don't think I'm going to be changing anybody's opinions here. Again, I did what I did. I'm not going to, belabor. I'm not going to grill folks. Because again, I get it. Voting it feels like shit right now. But, I was talking to a friend and she said that she had heard that the way that she kind of put herself in was you don't vote for who you want necessarily, at least most of the time. It's more voting for who you're fighting against. So I feel like there's a choice that does make more sense to who you're fighting against, at least right now. So, I think that's how I'm thinking about it. But if you think otherwise, feel free to. I'm not going to talk shit. It's fine. I get it.
Yeah, I think that's
really get it.
I think that really is unfortunately the error right now, even though that's not what the process should be, right?
Yes, it really shouldn't be.
It really should not be, it's the illusion of choice, right? But I think it is important to bring up too, at least hopefully that will encourage people to at least research the more local policy.
That as well.
There's a lot of very interesting local policy being pushed this election too. For instance, my home state's New Jersey. One of New Jersey's things on the ballot is pushing for marijuana legalization. So that's a very interesting thing. So who knows where that's going. So at the very least, even though you're not confident about the bigger things, at least the smaller things really do matter. But ultimately what matters is that you should take care of yourself regardless of what you're doing, right?
Take care of yourself, take care of those around you, because that's what actually matters. Like, local elections are important because that is you, that is the people around you. And then, you know, the actions that transpire nationally, you can still fight against that locally, or you can still help people locally, and that is really what matters. So, you know, the community is stronger than the upper echelons. No matter what, you know, they can't have their fingers in all of our pies. So that's what's important. Anyway, video games.
Video games.
Games.
They continue to happen, and I think that's the third strata of fear here.
There's too many of them.
We have reached a critical mass, I feel like. Like, LV, you wrote down in the list of things to talk about just 30 items in my Steam wish list released.
I am not going to go into it. I'm putting that in a broad term, just a broad umbrella to discuss so many games in both the indie sphere and the AAA sphere are releasing this November, like all at once, if not already at the end of October. And I don't know what that means for us. I don't even know what that means for the regular consumer, right? And one of the big problems, I think, you know, as you're going to go into, I think, later, if not right after this probably, is the whole pre-order debacle, where I think many people are not even going to get those new consoles anyway in time for the holiday season. So there is definitely a problem here with, I think, the market just overpacking itself due to both, you know, COVID definitely put in a huge stint on things, plus other factors, I'm sure, that I'm not mentioning right now. But it's all being pushed way too close to the holiday season, and unfortunately that means many people are not going to be able to have time or the resources to even try these things so jam-packed at the end of the year.
Yeah, just... We are, you know, we are a month out from when we are supposed to be doing, like, Game of the Year stuff.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, we have been, like, trying to talk about it, and pretty much everyone is just like, I don't know if we're gonna have a Game of the Year like we normally do. I mean, the pandemic has drained us, politics has drained us, and like the world has drained us, but also like a lot of the big games are coming out right before Game of the Year, so it feels like like wrong to do something. And there's still
uncertainty. There's still uncertainty over a few of them too. Some of them are like, we don't know if we're gonna delay this again. And just that huge stagnation of nothing really happening between like the second quarter of the year to the third. Like it really does shift the timeline in such a way where is this title technically fitting that time window, which would be considered 2020. Like, you know, at this point, it's releasing so late into 2020. Is it technically now a 2020 game too? So yeah, it's definitely like something like we were gonna figure out somehow.
Yeah,
that's on us. We're just venting for all of you to hear.
They'll be surprised.
I feel lucky in that my game of the year that has consistently stayed my game of the year came out in like February. So I've had a whole year to continue to play it and go, yeah, this is still really good. Whereas, like, I mean, you look at what a lot of the big sites that prioritize like the AAA space, and usually middle to end of the year titles in their game of the year stuff, because it's the most fresh in their mind when they start writing it. What are you gonna do? You've got, I mean, Watch Dogs came out yesterday. You've got a whole bunch of AAA stuff coming out in the next 3 weeks. I think there's another big Ubisoft game coming out in like 4. So it's just like, Oh God, what hell did I sign myself up for? Because I keep saying I like Ubisoft games.
Do you anymore?
I do. I still like the Ubisoft open world formula. I don't know why. There's just something comforting to it. It's always the same. Sometimes they try new things that work and don't work, but it's still like this weird... Why are you putting out 2 big games at the end of the year?
Well...
Why?
I mean, they almost did 3, but then they, weren't they supposed to put out Far Cry this year, and then they delayed that?
Yep.
Oh,
God.
Wow,
or maybe it was early next year, and then they delayed it to later. I don't remember, but yeah, they delayed Far Cry 6, right? Yes, 6.
It's legitimately just like, what the fuck? You're releasing 2 of your open world big 100-hour games within pretty much a month of each other. It's such a weird schedule this year because, I keep looking at it. The amount of things that are coming out in the next couple of months are just... There's so much.
It's a lot. And then there's 2 brand new consoles coming out in, a week.
Oh, God.
It's just over a week from when we're recording that we're getting new consoles.
Jeez.
So, good morning. Wake up and smell the coffee, everybody.
I didn't pre-order any of them, so I'll probably have it in February.
How are you getting a console at launch, LV?
I am not. Have not pre-ordered either of the 2 strangely shaped boxes. But I don't know. So far, at least from my standpoint, there's nothing really that strong. There's some very interesting things that are promising, but nothing so strongly enticing me for me to actually get either of those 2. And likely I would veer in the direction of the PS5. But at my current moment, there's nothing really pushing me to I really need this as soon as possible. So I'm kind of safe from from that world for now.
Yeah. I ordered myself a new graphics card, which makes me feel like since I have, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and whatnot, all that shit that comes through it is going to be on the PC too. So unless if I want to go back and play Lost Odyssey, which I actually do, I can just plug in my Xbox One and play it through that, instead of it, but I don't need the Xbox One Series X, got whatever the fuck it's called. I'm like, Xbox One X, oh wait, no, that's the one I have, so this is the Series X.
Awful naming convention. I agree. I am also, kind of slowly upgrading my own PC, so that I feel like for a while, I'm just going to be sticking to that. For a bit, it's really showing its age in many ways. It's been really kind of an issue in terms of running into technical issues when I have to do work and stuff. It's it's really grating. So it really is the time now where I gotta it's like an issue of there's some new parts, but then there's too many old parts, and I really have to from scratch make a new build. I think, but I think I wouldn't. There's nothing enticing for me to get IRs too. And I wouldn't know where to put it. I'm hearing all these stories about it's so they're too fucking big, they're really weird, they don't match anything in your household. So that's been me is I keep looking at it, I'm I've got enough to upgrade at least one part with a really high end thing, so I'm all right, I'm gonna get a 3080. Ooh.
And I ordered a 3080, just because, right now, if I'm playing things at 4K on my 1080, I get, 40 frames a second.
Oh.
So it's I think maybe, because I plug my thing through my TV, I might as well get a good video card with it and upgrade the processor next. But it's just I should be okay with that for 5 years.
Yeah, invest in something that will definitely be worth it.
Like, okay, I'm going to spend $1,000 on a video card, and that is enough for me to not have to worry about a new system, because everything I want is coming out for PC as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going to get Yakuza 7 on the PS4.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like the upgrade from the PS5 thing, at least at first, is like maybe once more exclusives start coming out, that's when I'll be like, okay, I'm going to get the PS5, Xbox One X now. Or if I just get frustrated with, hey, my computer's starting to get bogged down or whatever, I'm going to... Yeah.
Well, I'm getting a PS5. Day one, baby.
Hell yeah.
I'm ready. I am ready to play some Astro's Playroom and some Spider-Man and some Bug Snacks. I'm ready to go next gen, baby.
It's so weird to call it next gen gaming when up until like they announced them, we were still calling the PS4 next gen gaming. Like, and now that's finally, it only becomes current gen once the next system is announced. That's always the funny thing.
It's messed up, but it makes you think.
The future becomes the present. Yeah.
But yeah, we're still in the present. We're still in the current gen of gaming. We're still using those old dusty consoles that we've had for like 7 years. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, the lifeline of some of those other consoles was, has been, usually between 5 years and a decade.
Yeah. So, it's fine. It's really normal.
Yeah.
So we've been gaming. And, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about some updates for the PS5. Because that was the stuff that occurred recently. Is that we did get some updates on that PS5. So, first thing I guess I could talk about is they actually revealed, like, 2 more, I don't know if it's 2 more, but they went into a few more of the games that are going to be on that PS Plus collection for the PS5 that was, like, PS4 games that they're bringing up to the PS5 with, like, enhanced features and all that. And if you have PS Plus, you just get these games. And it's Arkham Knight. Some of these were already announced, but I'm just going to go through all of them. It's Arkham Knight, Battlefield 1, Bloodborne, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Days Gone, Detroit Become Human, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, God of War, Infamous Second Son, Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat X, Persona 5, not Royal, just Persona 5, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil 7, The Last Guardian, Last of Us Remastered, Until Dawn, and Uncharted 4.
I mean, it's not a bad selection of games outside of Persona 5.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they wouldn't do the Royal version. But that makes sense.
And I mean, same thing with Mortal Kombat X. Like, 11 has been out.
Yeah, but nobody, all the pro players and whatnot don't like 11.
Well, still, it's the newer game. Who cares?
Well, I know, but, like, I think they're looking at the one that people would connect with, or actually, it's probably WB just wants the money for the new game, and, oh yeah, you can give us money to release the thing for free that doesn't sell anymore.
Nah.
So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Same with Persona 5.
Yeah, they haven't said if they're going to add any to this list. I would hope that they do. Maybe they'll bump up games that, they want to work on. Maybe those games just haven't been updated yet. Maybe they'll add more. Or maybe they won't. Who knows?
Yeah.
But to continue on for PS Plus, the new PS Plus games were revealed. 2 of them are Middle-earth Shadow of War and Hollow Knight Void Heart Edition, which those are going to be on PS4 and PS5. But also, you can get Bug Snacks for PS5 on PS
That's
Plus.
the most important revelation.
Yeah, you can just hop on Bug Snacks.
Just get it for free.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just bring home your system day one, plug it in, and download that Bug Snacks.
A steal.
There you go. But something that isn't going to be on PS Plus, or, well, at least not at launch, because it's not going to be at launch anymore, is Destruction All-Stars. That was a game that was originally going to be released on the same day as the PS5. They delayed it until February 2021, but they did say that it will be on PS Plus when it releases. So, like a 3-month delay, but a promise that you will be able to play it for free if you have PS Plus, which you kind of need PS Plus to play it. So,
yeah.
There you go. And then the last little PS5 update here is we had that list of games that were confirmed to not work on the PS5 that were PS4 games. And it was a short list. It didn't really seem like a lot of stuff wasn't going to work. But Ubisoft made a post on their Ubisoft Connect page where they said that all of their Xbox One games will work on Xbox Series X, no problem. But then they said that some games were just straight up not going to work on PS5. Which goes against what Sony said. But
yeah.
Here's what they said will not work. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. All 3 of the Assassin's Creed Chronicles games, so India, China, and Russia, as well as the Trilogy Pack. Risk for PS4. Star Trek Bridge Crew. Werewolves Within, and Space Junkies. So all of those games will not work on PS5, but they did say that you'll be able to do some sort of transfer for save files for For Honor, Division 2, and The Crew 2, as well as if you pick up the PS4 version of Just Dance 2021 or Prince of Persia Sands of Time Remake, you'll just be able to transfer those to your PS5 with just some quick cross-progression. It's weird that this is a separate thing. Now, we're probably just going to have to wait and see if other studios and publishers are going to come out and say, hey, this game doesn't work, this game doesn't work. And
I wonder if it's also just a difference between Sony looking at it and going, oh, it works, it runs at 10 frames a second, but it works. And the, Ubisoft going, I mean, I guess you could say it works, but that doesn't do what we call working.
Sony did say in their blog post that, that not every single game will run flawlessly. So that you might be right in that, it might just be up to the individual developer to be like, don't play this. You can turn it on, but oh, fuck. So.
Because, that is just Syndicate and its DLC, because the Chronicle stuff was the DLC for Syndicate, so that tells me that it's just something in that game doesn't like the new architecture.
Sure. And I mean, Syndicate was the one that was like kind of fucked up anyway, so...
No, that was Unity.
I don't remember.
Syndicate was great.
All right, I'll take your word for it, because all those games start blending together. But yeah, I guess that's the PS5 showcase update there for everybody. I guess speaking of Ubisoft games, Christine, do you want to just go ahead and talk about Watch Dogs Legion? Because I didn't know that game was out. Scott posted in like completely flabbergasted about that game being released.
I was surprised too. And then I, for some reason decided to get back on my Ubisoft bullshit and download it. And honestly, it's not a bad game.
Uh-huh.
It does a certain thing that I happen to love, which is like you can recruit anyone thing is a really cool idea. And the fact that it gives me like, okay, all I get is a voice, an age, a name, an occupation, a couple of family members or relations listed, and then like 5 facts about the person. Like, oh, this person loves, was Googling cats most recently. They just ordered a bunch of dog food. They're doing a lot of research into hormone treatments and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, this is interesting. Here's this somewhat effeminate person who's looking into hormone treatments, so clearly they are starting a transition or something, and you get to come up with a really cool story in your head for these characters that, you get 5 random facts. Unfortunately, they don't seem to work right, because I got a character who looked about 18 that was listed as age 72, and I was sitting there like, I think you got a few patches to go on your thing. And but overall, like, those are the kind of things that I kind of love. But what gets in the way of Assassin's Creed Legion Watch Dogs Legion is its story just isn't that good. You get things like, oh, does a person have a positive opinion of DedSec or a negative one? So if you run over someone with a car, you might target somebody a little later in the game that says, cousin was killed by DedSec in car accident or something. As a red negative against being able to recruit them. Or if you help someone, you might get a green thing that's, X person was helped by DedSec. Unfortunately, the only way to help people is to just, like, distract or attack a, PMC guard that's arresting them. There's no other way to help people. Like, I want more options to be able to be like, oh, I can go up and not even having to recruit someone. I can just help them with a little problem or something. Mm-hmm. But that option isn't there. There are interesting side things, like I helped one girl who was getting arrested, and it turned out that she was the sister of somebody else I was recruiting. So after I did that, if you get 2 thumbs up with them, essentially, like enough green positive stuff, they'll just join you without you having to do a recruit mission. It was kind of cool. Both of them joined me at the same time, like, oh yeah, we're gonna help. Thanks for helping my girlfriend. But there's so much stuff around the writing that the game is missing out on. Like, if I am running around as an Albion guard that I recruited to my team, everyone in town reacts to me like, fuck off, fascist. Starts yelling at me and treating me like shit, which makes sense. But my teammates who are like, we hate anyone involved in Albion, they will see you and be like, what's up, dude? How you doing? And not even acknowledge the fact that I'm running around in cop armor, arresting, like, you can arrest people. It's, like, really badly done. Like, that kind of stuff. And it makes me mad. Like, it doesn't acknowledge your history that well unless you come across someone that is tied, that is just on the open world and tied to something you did. As soon as you recruit someone, any story stuff they had with them is out the window. They don't care anymore, and it's really annoying.
So it sounds like, this, like, relationship morality map, they're trying to present, like, oh yeah, you have, like, all these choices, like, you can turn the tide or, like, help people. It sounds like it's very scripted and very linear. Like, it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound as nuanced as, like, they kind of, I remember them trying to portray it to be. It's not as open and flexible as
it doesn't feel good that my teammates aren't reacting, but just the people in the open world.
Right.
It's really annoying, but it does have that thing where I'm kind of giving the characters their own story and personality. Like, the person who's a cop is a lot more prone to violence than others. Everyone else is just like, I'm going to stealth my way through everything. I'm not going to KO anyone. I'm just going to try to sneak my way through everything with gadgets and whatnot. Like, every character I've been playing as, I give a different kind of personality and how they go through things, and it makes it interesting. It's like I said when I wrote it in the sheet, that it made me want to go play State of Decay 2 because that game was really good at that kind of storytelling where it's all in my head. The worst thing Legion does is have a story.
So here's here's my argument here, and this might be a bit sacrilege, but I feel like if you have to come up with the story, if you're sitting there and having to come up with these concepts, that fucking sucks. That's not enough writing, and that is like really lazy on their part. I feel like, I don't know. I think that is like, there should be some room to play around with that sort of thing, and, it's good that they give you those options in a sense, but, like, I feel like actively praising them for basically handing you a blank piece of paper, that kind of sucks.
Actually, I'm condemning them for too much writing. That's the biggest problem with the game, is there's way too much writing.
But what if it was good writing?
Then it might be better, but I mean, part of what I like about that kind of game, like the State of Decay 2, even Suikoden, which is one of the things I love about it so much, is you get a little bit into a character's personality, and you get like 3 facts about just the characters, and it's kind of nice to be able to go, okay, this is who I think this character is, and somebody else's interpretation could be different if they get the same character, and it's never invalid. Unless you say Olan is from Suikoden is straight, then you're just fucking wrong. But it's very much like, hey, I can fill in holes and make the characters my own. But their overall plot is just absolutely getting in its own way, because there are set characters, and I wish they joined your team a little bit, because conceptually the idea of Legion is really cool. It just doesn't work in execution.
All right.
With the way they overwrite it, because all their cutscenes, I think, probably have the same dialogue, where lines of dialogue coming out of one character just sound so wrong, where it's like, no, that's not even the character's personality at all. It needs less writing.
It sounds like they got really involved in certain parts where, when we all saw this game at first, we were like, oh no, oh boy, this weird Brexit metaphor, especially right now. Like, it sounds like, yeah, like, as I was going into, they definitely really scripted certain parts, but didn't really think about other aspects to the experience, so they kind of just dealt with like, oh, okay, this character's story beat is done. We're not gonna like go further with that. That's it. They're now someone in your party or in your group, and which I think is kind of a problem too for a game that is trying to explore like socio-political issues, especially in terms of like a game that is again trying to present you that you have a choice in like turning the tides or influencing how your characters are, and. That's not great, because I think it's like, as you were going into, overwriting in some parts just really takes away the player's agency, I think. But then the other problem is that they're not filling in certain like other gaps where like elaborating to like your issue with the teammates are not really the teammates are now kind of just generified. They're not really reacting to like the specific dynamics now as you're interacting with these other characters, or as the team makeup is changing.
I recruited a person that one of my people murdered their cousin in cold blood.
Yeah.
And they act like best friends. It's like, no. Like, it doesn't matter that we're on the same team. If I see that person in the street, I'm going to go fuck you, fascist, and punch him in the fucking face.
Right. I think a way that could have been fixed is either that plot line was not there, or they actually do appropriately react to that, you know, right? Or there would have been an interesting thing where like you couldn't recruit them because of that, you know, like or you have to like work. Yeah, but it seems like they didn't bother like thinking about those things. Like it seems like they were all afterthoughts. Right?
And doing something like that should absolutely like lock a whole lot of people out from being able to recruit.
Yeah,
which the only way to fully lock someone out is to get 3 negative points. So it is literally like I dropped an explosive package on a street and killed like 40 people accidentally because I didn't know that the package drone was carrying a bomb. So I just, drop package, that'll be funny, and then watched as the entire street exploded. But I looked at those people, like, I ran across, like, families of people who I had killed in that incident, and it's just like, cousin was killed by DedSec. Negative opinion. It's like, that should be the part where it immediately locks you off from being able to recruit that person, because you murdered like 30 people in the street. You actually are a terrorist organization now. Like...
Yeah, the mechanics are not like adapting to each situation properly. It seems like it's just applying the same rules no matter what you do. And that kind of like makes it, that makes things weird.
It's one of those things that, like other Ubisoft games, it's like, right now, I'm being really annoyed by all this stuff, but, like, the way they update things and keep supporting them, it's like, it could be really cool with a bunch of patches. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm ever going to come back to it, because I have other games that I'd like. If I'm going to play a game like this, I'd much rather do what I did, which was go play State of Decay 2 for 4 hours the next day. Mm-hmm. I was like, I want to, if I'm going to tell my own stories, I want them to be a little more, or a little less guided and a little more random, so I can have these cool things happen instead of how it is in Legion, which is there's so many potentially cool things they could do. I hope they do them. I don't think they will, but like at least it's 100% overtly political, which is hilarious after all the news stories. Them like, this isn't a political thing. It's like, no, this is 100% political. This is like, they aren't shying away from shit.
Mm-hmm. Like literally even from the get-go when this was teased, that'd be really, I don't know why they keep telling people that. It's a little ridiculous. But
it's like, no, this is 100% a mostly leftist game, kind of. It's like,
that's interesting,
okay.
All right. Elvie.
Yeah.
Hit us with an update. What's up?
So I haven't been playing anything new, except major thing, Genshin Impact. I'm now in the Genshin Impact goo, as I would describe it. And jumping in a little later than everyone else. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. Just to give a rough idea of where I'm at. I'm like, I just reached rank 13, adventure rank 13. But yeah, it's pretty fun to go in and out. I think the game is very interesting because it is inherently a game meant to, like it's trying to encourage you to play online with other people, like co-op and whatnot. But it really does feel like how I would play an MMO as a single player experience and not talk with anyone. As I played it, it feels like that. That's how I feel when I play. And from the get-go, like in a sense, like, the gacha system is, it's there, but it's not really necessary to play through the game and, do what you need to do. But, like, even going in, the moment I went in, like, knowing that information beforehand and, like, just through the osmosis of, like, learning about people's experiences through you guys or any other friends who are playing it. It like going in, it really does feel like a quintessential online game from like the get-go. Like just the way, its interface is presented, the way like the story doesn't really explain itself in a lot of parts. And I guess to go more with the MMO aspect, like when you enter this world, like there is so much like secondary information you can just. I was really shocked by how much like script is in the NPCs you talk to. I was really shocked at like, oh wow, they're actually not repeating dialogue. There's actually like also an incentive to talk to them more, where like some of them do give you items depending on the dialogue branch you go into, and a lot of them really go into like really like thorough detail about the world and like what is going on. And like in MMOs and like online games, that's how they like explain most of like the world's lore, because they're not packed with cinematics. They can't just do that, especially for like an online game where they expect a lot of players to be playing at the same time, etc. Like they just like a lot of like how MMOs play is like based on self-exploration. You kind of have to unpack the story yourself and like go every way to find things accidentally, in a sense. I think it's very interesting too how like a lot of them have really detailed like stories going on, and I don't know if these are things that maybe you as a player eventually go into like maybe you'll find a quest line. But for instance, there's a whole thing too where there's this one NPC where she's blind, she can't see, she's like blindfolded, she's literally on a bench, and then like she talks to you about like, oh yeah, she's waiting for like her lover, one of the guards leaving town, and then yeah, like at some point you can just find him wandering around like a non-specific area out in the wilds where there's hostile enemies and whatnot, and like there's just a lot of detail like that, which I think is very interesting. And like again, like it's just interesting how like they put so much work into that writing to like thoroughly flesh out these NPCs to explain the world and like have their own little stories going on. Yet like I don't know if like they're actually going to be explored via quest line at some point, but they're just there for you to kind of find that out, and that's very interesting. Like it's very funny to me, like at some point you go through a library and then you're just collecting all these texts, and like I have not even bothered reading them, but I'm pretty sure if I actually do, it actually explains more of the universe too. So I don't know, like it very much feels like an MMO in that regard, even though I'm not really playing with other people, but just the way it handles exposition feels that way. And two, with how the quests are handled. And like that's kind of like one of my issues with the game. Like there's a very back and forth, like I don't think the game's grindy at all, but there's a very back and forth nature to how the quests are dealt with, where you have to constantly go back and forth across the same locations just to talk to people, which again is very MMO to me. Like, and very repetitive, but there's just all of like these like aspects to it that's just really funny to me as someone who like has usually played MMOs as a single player and not really bothering to talk with other people. It just feels that way. On the gacha aspect, like it does, it does feel like a gacha game too, and like similarly because of that. I don't know. I feel like they go hand in hand. And as someone who's not played really gacha specific games or games where gacha is like a huge aspect, I have played a lot of like trashy mobile games where they do kind of try to bait you into doing microtransactions, and never gave in, I assure you. But like those sort of free to play mobile games where like they have a lot of advertisements and that's how you can kind of progress through the game. It definitely feels that way, especially with how the items are handed out and how like the pacing of the game is too. But yeah, it was just funny, like with that mindset already going in playing the game. But, and like, I feel like coming from that place of experience, like, it does make the game feel very familiar in a weird way. And yeah, I'm really liking it. So, and again, like, just to reiterate what I said from the beginning, I'm just really liking it so far. I'm just kind of going with the flow, and I haven't really rolled for any. I've just been using the default characters they've been giving you from the start, besides Noelle, which I think everyone has, because that's literally like the first. It's the first character they encourage you to try, and she's probably the easiest too because of that, in terms of the chances to get her. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just going through the game, and it's pretty fun. It definitely stirs something unhinged within me, because whenever I see an animal, I'm like, I guess I gotta kill that animal for meat. Really bad, really bad. But yeah, I quite liking it so far. I have like the English language track on. It's pretty funny too in like weird moments. And I recalling a question that was asked, and I think it was like 2 episodes ago, the first of the 3-way streak that I was on, where who would win in a cage match between Paimon and Popo from Orange Juice, the Orange Juice universe. I'm gonna say Popo. Paimon's pretty stupid. I don't think she would win. She's pretty aloof. People like see her. So to give context, Paimon's like, she's this little. They don't explain what she is. Again, very fascinating. Like, again, they don't explain what a lot of things are. Again, reader, it's very interesting how the game encourages self-exploration to kind of just get like what's going on. But Paimon's very aloof. She's very susceptible to being deceived. The moment, like, it's really funny whenever people see her for the first time, they're just like, what are you? Are you like a pet? Like, they just say that out loud, or they're just very, like, I think she, again, it seems like she's far more powerful than Popo, because she seems to have, like, this power over time, in a way. So, like, the in-game mechanic is that you can kind of progress time faster by just, because there's a day and night system where, like, if you need to access something that is only accessible at night, or like a business or whatever, it's not open at this time, you can control time that way. And in addition, it affects like the hostile areas too. But yeah, even though she has like what seems to be this grander, more cosmic power, I don't think she has the intelligence or rather sensibilities to be able to beat Popo, who seems to have no moral code. So that already is very dangerous to me. So there. So there, I played the game enough to answer that question. My answer is Popo. She will win the cage match against Paimon. From 2 episodes ago, if one recalls our continuity here.
Wonderful. Thank you for the vote of confidence for Marie Popo. All right. Well, I think I should discuss another major occurrence that happened. There was a partner direct that occurred. One of those little showcases where they announce some things. And I'll just go through what they announced. First off, they talked a little bit more about, and I'm not doing this in any order, you know how it is. They talked about that Immortals Phoenix Rising game. That's the Ubisoft Breath of the Wild thing. Mm-hmm. They had some new footage of Age of Calamity, which has a demo out. So if you want to try that out, go check that out on your Nintendo Switch. They had more info about Bravely Default 2, which is delayed to February 26th. And a lot of people sound like they don't like how it looks or how it plays. It seems like people just aren't very happy with that game, even now. Which,
Grand.
Yeah. We have a new Story of Seasons? I think it's new.
One? Or is this Rune Factory?
It is Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town.
Oh, wow. Okay. A whole new game. All right.
A new SOS.
A new one. Because the recent one was like essentially a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is coming out March 23rd next year.
Oh.
An interesting thing is that they are bringing out some of those cloud-based games on the Switch, which that was something that happened in Japan. Like, they put Resident Evil 7 out on Switch, which it was like a streaming version of the game. But they never released that over here. But they are releasing Hitman 3 on the Switch, which is just completely wild to think about. But they also have already released Control on the Switch as a streaming game, and from what I've seen, it works pretty well, which is kind of surprising.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I have a couple of friends who have been playing it and sharing, stuff as they play and going, I did not think this would work, and it works really well. So that actually has me pretty excited for what you can do on the Switch. When you have it plugged into wired internet.
Yes, I would say you should probably have it plugged in wired to play something like that. And I guess some people dug around in the code of the website for the Control Cloud version, and they found some hints that they're going to also do Resident Evil 3, which is pretty cool. It's a good game.
Wild.
Also, they're the part-time UFO game by HAL Laboratories, which was a mobile game that they made. That is also on Switch now. People are pretty excited about that. And I guess the last thing that I'll talk about is just a little thing, you know. It's No More Heroes 3. They showed some footage of No More Heroes 3 in action, and it looks fucking great! And I'm so excited! It looks so good. The gameplay
I'm so
looks...
happy for you.
It looks like so much fun. Some great
It does
gameplay.
look good, yeah.
Yeah. But then, they said, John, do you want to get more people to understand why you love No More Heroes?
This is for you, specifically.
I said yes.
They were pointing through the screen, yeah.
Yes, Mr. 51. Yes, Marvelous Entertainment. Yes. Do this for John. They said, well, we will do it for you. We will release the first 2 No More Heroes games on the Switch. They are out. They are available right fucking now. And I'm just gonna say, I have been playing... I bought both of them, of course I did. They are eShop games. I don't know if they're gonna do a physical version. I'm gonna be honest, if they do a physical release, I'm gonna buy that too.
I feel like they would. They would do something special with it, like a whole package deal with some merch. I can see that happening.
Yeah, if they do like a limited run or something, I'm gonna have to get on that.
Fancy silver book, yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. I am...
Fancy, cold cast porcelain toilet.
Yeah, you know what? There you go.
Totally.
God. But they are both out. I haven't really touched 2 yet because I'm just playing 1. But the 1 port is very, very good. It is exactly what you want. It runs really well. It controls perfectly fine. They ported all the controls really well to the Joy-Cons as well as handheld or, Pro Controller or whatever. Like, the problem with No More Heroes that when it got ported elsewhere, which basically it was the PS3 version, Heroes Paradise, and then you could also play the original No More Heroes with the classic controller. Playing those games with the controller just felt wrong. It felt really off, and not just because you can't waggle at certain times or anything like that. It was just, it was wonky. It feels way better on the Switch. Like, they actually fixed a lot of the issues that playing with the controller had. So, no matter how you want to play it, if you want to jack off or not, you can play however you want. It's there for you. And yeah, it is a very, very good port. And I am just so happy that I'm replaying this game for the first time in a really long time, and I am having more fun than I remember. Like, I feel like being older, being wiser, having more experiences under my belt, and like having these years of having a more critical eye on games and learning from being on Chooch has made me able to appreciate No More Heroes more just as a work, as a video game. And that is something I'm extremely happy about. Like, so often you go back to something you remember liking when you were younger, and it's disappointing at times, but going back to No More Heroes, I have just been loving it so much more, and that is just the best feeling. And I do know some folks feel like 2 is a step down, and I feel like I might feel iffy about 2, because I definitely remember 2 having some weird moments just in gameplay and pacing and the ending. But knowing that 3 is around the corner, maybe not just around the corner, but it's coming up, that's exciting, and that makes me feel like even if 2 doesn't knock my socks off when I replay it, like 1 feels so good. 1 is like such a great game, and 3 is going to be fantastic. So I recommend everyone check it out. I think there's like a launch discount, so it's like $18, but it's just each of them are gonna be $20 afterwards. I'd say just try No More Heroes 1 at least, and if you like it, then try 2. But these games are some of my favorites ever, and I'm so glad that they're available for people. Like, seeing that they were like trending on the eShop, and that like people are talking about those games again, it made me feel really good. So, yes. Check it out. Tell me how you feel about those games. Like, for real. Like, just message me. Just say, John, this is how I feel about No More Heroes. I want to hear your reactions. Even if you hate it, I want to hear it.
It's funny because looking back on it now, like, I have so much appreciation for the stuff I hated about when I originally played it. Now that I look at it with the eye that, oh, this shit was actually intentional. You're mowing the fucking lawn. It's not supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It sucks garbage. Yeah, you're mowing the fucking lawn.
And also, it's not that bad.
It's stuff looking back on that you look at and go, oh, it was actually intentionally bad at points, and I love it.
Yeah, I've only ever played the first game on the Wii, and it's definitely way more intelligent than I think people give it credit to. And it's really, really funny when you realize, like, kind of like the points it was hitting then. You know, I in a sense, I don't know if, like, even if I were to revisit it, but, like, I don't know if some of those things would make sense in the context of it, but I think they would still carry on, especially depending on, like, what we've been hearing about, like, what 3 is going to explore, which really sounds insane and really bold of them to do if they really are going to commit to that plot line. But no, yeah, I think 1 is definitely worth checking out. At least it's definitely something worth.
Yeah,
and hey, that music is still really good, really good. I people may argue with me about this one. And while I do really love No More Heroes 1's OST, and I love Matsufumi Takada's music, I think 2 has a better soundtrack. I think 2's soundtrack is phenomenal. One of my favorite soundtracks in the game. Like, I'm so glad I have that physical copy of the soundtrack, because I just put that on in my car and driving around. Love it, love it, love it, love it! So yes, it was a good time, and I don't really have much else to talk about game-wise, because, you know, classes are really hectic, doing all my work, but when No More Heroes drops, that's what I've been focused on. I've just been playing No More Heroes. That is my update. That is John's update, is I'm playing No More Heroes. I'm not that far into it, because I have been taking my time. Like, I collected all the Lovikov balls. I want to do as much as I can. I want to, like, I have explored Stand and Destroy more than I did when I was younger, and I think that will, you know, that'll be interesting to see how it impacts No More Heroes 3, because there is the open world in 3 again, and I do want to see if it's the same. You know, I want to see if Stand and Destroy is similar. I want to see if it feels similar to revisiting Kamurocho when you go to a new Yakuza game, you know, because that is such a great feel. Like, I saw some people writing about why Kamurocho is such a great place, and like compared to a lot of like the big sprawling open worlds, in that like Kamurocho, it is exactly what it needs to be, and they have kept it consistent, but they don't change the place; they change what you can do there. And that is so smart.
Yeah. Like, they change up some things to show time is going past. Some areas won't be, you know, oh, there was a fire in this one game, so now that area is, you know, under construction in the next.
Right.
There's just a whole bunch of that really, really cool stuff with Kamurocho, that it always has the same layout. If I want to go to the Sega arcade, I know exactly where they are. You know, I know where all those businesses are, and they're always in the same or very similar spots. So it's like just this really cool thing of, I know where I need to go to do anything after you've played your first game.
Yeah, it's very smartly designed, and how, from also a developer standpoint, where like and that's also how like they're able to put out so many Yakuza games, because they are like reusing the assets in a very intelligent way that doesn't feel cheap, right? Like what was mentioned, like, oh, like an area is blocked out because of this actual convenient plot thread, you know, and whatnot. And, you know, it's a very smart thing to do, where we're just going to reuse this map and change it based on what the story is demanding or what the hook's demanding.
Yeah.
And so I do hope that, you know, when I start up No More Heroes 3 and they tell me, hey, go to Beefhead, I know it's right around the corner from Travis's motel, you know? Like, I hope that is something that they do. But, you know, we'll see. And I'm gonna keep playing this. Like, I'll probably just beat 1 and then go into 2 by next week. So that'll be the update for then. And then the week after will be PS5. So
Ooh.
There you go. All right. Christine, hit us with something else.
Yeah, let's hit up some fighting game times.
Okay.
First of all, Guilty Gear Accent Core plus R XX YNPRT, you know, Guilty Gear names. It has rollback netcode right now, as of the other day. It's really, really well implemented. Unfortunately, they brought in Mike Z to do it, which fucking sucks.
Was he not fired? Is that not what we learned?
So,
yes, he was just fired, but he had been working on it right up until he was still actively working on it on the 23rd was the last time people can tell he was working on it.
Yeah,
but fuck that guy, but also it's Guilty Gear Accent Core plus R with really good rollback. And that's one of my favorite fighting games of all time. It's also on sale on Steam for $3. As is Guilty Gear Zerd, which I also played a bunch of, which is on sale for $10. So grab Rev 2, grab Accent Core, and play some really good fighting games. Hopefully Rev 2 will have rollback in the future to make it good to play online. But I played a bunch of Grand Blue Fantasy Versus the other day because I wanted to try out a lot of the new characters, which I hadn't really played in a while. There was a Balance Pass released. Ladiva is my main, and Ladiva sucks now. They took her from a solid, like, one of the best grapplers in fighting games to absolutely the dirt worst character on the roster with the way they changed how moves interact with each other in the latest Balance update. Just absolutely ruined the character, which pisses me off so much. I'm going to call it transphobia because it's transphobia. You ruined the trans character.
Well, they're adding Cagliostro, or they have added.
Cagliostro is there. Cagliostro is a trap character where you're just constantly laying traps for people. Really, somewhat fun. I'm trying to figure her stuff out, but the newer characters, the only one I really, really liked, and I played with all of them. Zoe is great. I keep wanting to call her Zooey, but it's Zoe, and she's fucking phenomenal. It's like has good Oki, which is weird to say about that game. Is like I have mix-ups on Wake Up now with that character, and like really fun to use. Will probably be a character I use mostly when I play that game now, because she was a lot of fun to play as. But yeah, fighting game wise, it was a good week last week I played a whole lot, and like with all the Guilty Gear stuff, played a bunch of Accent Core the other day when the patch went up, and just, oh god, it's good having good rollback, a good netcode on a game that is fast paced. Play that game, buy it. It's like $3. You can't go wrong.
$3 reduced.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's like $3 on Steam right now.
Oh, I think they got like a Halloween.
It might be $4, but I'm pretty sure it's $2.99.
All right.
Well,
Well, if you're lying, you'll have to pay the consequence.
It's either $2.99 or $3.99. I'm pretty sure it's $2.99. My brain is, but you can get both that and Rev
like
2 for
$5.
like
That's
that
insane.
and Rev 2 for under $15 total. You can't go wrong and get two of the best fighting games ever made. And then, yeah, I played a whole lot more of Game of the Year Neo 2 because the new DLC came out, and I wanted to try the new weapons. Because I hadn't used the split staff that was released in the first DLC yet, and I wanted to try the new fist weapon, and motherfucker, I can do an Izuna drop when you do one of the dropping, attacks onto somebody. You just do a beautiful shooting star press. It is incredible. The fist weapon suddenly went from, split staff. I was like, this is really fun to use. It's really quick, but it feels really good. But it's still not going to replace my Kusarigama. But then I used the fists and I went, Kusarigama what? Because the Kusarigama only feels good in high stance. Like, really? But the fists feel really cool in every different stance. And it's 3 different martial arts styles depending on what stance you're using. Which is really cool how each stance feels totally different from each one compared to most of the weapons where it feel outside of the switch axe. When you switch your stance, they feel somewhat similar, just with a slightly different moveset. This feels completely different with each of the stances. It's really cool and really Game of the Year Neo 2. No matter how much I have enjoyed other games like Hades, incredible. Final Fantasy 14, I live in that game. Neo 2 is Game of the Year. That will not change.
Well,
I do not see that change.
Final Fantasy 14.
Respect this confidence.
It is... I have not enjoyed a game of the, hey, this is hard, memorize attack patterns, yada, yada, yada style. I have never enjoyed one like I am this. It's amazing.
Alvi, what else is up with you? Hit us with the hot takes.
My hot take. Okay, so I don't care about League really. I don't even really care about Kata, but in lieu of our previous conversation in regards to how messed up the whole Seraphine marketing is right now, and trying to capitalize on the virtual influencer industry and whatnot. And actually there has been a recent news report literally that was put out about oh wow, how much money these virtual influencers really generate. It's really insane. But the core problem was how it was trying to take it, how these things, whatever, you're promoting a product, whatever. And that's no different from any cartoon character being oh yeah, here, cool. I'm hanging out with a real person that, whatever. That's funny. That can be cute. But the whole issue with this industry and example Seraphine, where they're trying to take advantage of real human elements where, hey, that's kind of not cool. You're kind of just using this to market your thing. And in the end of the day, she's not real. So meanwhile, a real person who might be going through a struggle would rather deserve that attention, right? But anyway, pivoting to this being related to Kata, I think she officially, technically, is now debuted in that group, in that unit. They're little. So from my understanding, Kata is an alternate universe. Am I correct? I don't know if anyone plays League or has an awareness of that lore. But the K-pop, them existing in our contemporary world is an AU in a sense. They're not linked to their in-game characters, I think, right? And essentially the skins are just skins.
Yes.
But to the point, they released a new song yesterday. Hot drop, and that's Seraphine's now in the group officially. So who knows where that social media marketing is going to go after this, right? After that debacle, right? My hot take on it, as someone who really enjoys pop music, but not really K-pop. I'm not a K-pop fan, but I have a lot of friends who really love K-pop. But as someone who really loves like pop music, and as someone who also coming from, who works in animation, who deeply enjoyed and was very impressed by the pop stars, right? Their first song. This song sucks. Like, it sucks. Like, both the song and the music. And again, that's my hot controversial opinion. People are free to disagree with me. And again, speaking as someone who's totally detached from this, but, like, watching this, because this is all part of one big stream where I gotta know this, right? So talking about the song itself, it's not a bop, right? It's not a bop. It's not as catchy to me. I feel like it feels a little more generic, and they're really honing in on, like, parodying or like really referencing what a K-pop song is structurally. It does not feel as unique or sound or has much of an earworm quality compared to pop stars. So this song is called More. Like, it's in all caps. Like, I guess you gotta scream it, more. I don't know if they have any other songs beyond those two, Pop Stars and More. Maybe they do. I wouldn't be surprised. But
it's just those two. They released one for another character that was a rap song.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But the song itself is not as catchy to me. It's not enticing me. But then onto the music video. So, like, the biggest thing I was able to notice immediately is that they clearly were just using the similar tools or, like, whatever models they would use for their regular League of Legends cinematics, right? Their little short movies. And compared to Pop Stars, it's not as great. Again, like how the fake, I'm saying cinematography, even though it's not live action footage, but I'm going to use the word cinematography for the sake of this discussion. But they're really trying to emulate, like I said with the song, just hands down parodying, like referencing how a K-pop music video is often they have very particular, like, techniques they use, like they use, like, really excessive lighting, like really, really bright colors. A lot of times they have very specific, like, camera movements they use a lot. They love to cut away a lot. They love to, and they're specifically doing that in this video, which is very different from Pop Stars, where Pop Stars inherently, I think, acknowledged it was an animated video. And I think that's kind of where my thesis is. I think Pop Stars was more creatively interesting too, where it was also 3D animation, but they were doing a very interesting 2D fake effect in a lot of parts. And, like, again, the really big scene that took a lot of people in, such as me, who is an outsider from this game and this game's, like, world, the scene with Akali, with the mask, with the, and she's, like, in a subway car, and, like, there's this really cool lighting effect where that basically triggered tons of cosplays inspired by that, because they were very enticed, very many people were enticed by the mask, and now it's kind of relevant given the circumstances to have, like, a cool LED mask, right, that matches up with sound. But right, there were no scenes like that, like, in this new music video. It was very just straight laced, like, they look pretty and they're just standing around and dancing and doing choreography. Whereas the other Pop Stars had more interesting, like, cool, weird stuff going on that this video did not have. Like, it inherently, this was inherently just, we're gonna animate a K-pop music video parody. And I think, like, also commenting on, like, how League of Legends' women has, like, same face syndrome, same body syndrome specifically. It was more apparent here because of that, because they didn't really take more creative liberties with that. So, but I don't know, that's just my, if this was a YouTube video and I'm a YouTuber reacting, this is what I would say exactly.
Okay.
Sans a camera of me, like, doing weird facial expressions, right? Cutting away to the video once in a while. But yeah, I totally get it. I think the production of the video revolved around the fact that maybe this was like probably literally produced within this year in the midst of, like, COVID, and they probably, like, the team did not have the resources to do anything new or, like, something as cool, I think. So they kind of had to just work with what they had, like, very limited. But it does succeed in that regard, where it literally does just, like, this is just straight up a K-pop video with animated characters, right? Right. But two, I wonder if, like, this is going to be their approach moving forward. Were they really going to develop this whole K-dot thing more, and are they really going to keep going with it? And it makes sense to me, too, from, like, a development perspective, where maybe they want to churn out these things quicker. And do more material with it. So they're not going to do something as experimental and kind of risky with what they did with Pop Stars. I don't know how many years ago that was. Like that was already like a couple of years ago since that was released. But yeah, I don't know. Like they're it seems apparent that they are gonna expand this more. But again, it's still very confusing. Like I don't know who this is for. I feel like a lot of people who really are into like this K-Dot thing don't even really play League. You know, whenever I hear people talk about it, or like people who are like cosplaying the outfits, I don't know. Maybe because I'm also not talking with them, but it seems like they're not even playing League.
Oh yeah, no. There's people that are just like into K-pop or even just into that song.
Yeah, they like the aesthetics of it, but it's interesting. It's not encouraging people to pay. You know, give them the money they want related to the game, right?
But League is one of those weird things. Like I think I talk about it with like somebody being surprised that you'd add Minecraft Steve to Smash, where it's like, it's the biggest fucking thing in the world, and like League still is like, yeah, I mean, it's very much, you could run across a random person in the street and go, oh, hey, you play League? And actually the likelihood of them saying yes, if they look like the kind of person that doesn't really play video games, is actually somewhat high.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of people that play League is one of those things where it's shocking.
It makes sense where like it's one of those games too where it has such a brand recognition attached to it, similar to like something like World of Warcraft, where like it makes sense for someone to be like, yeah, I play World of Warcraft, but they don't play anything else because their time is their entire gaming like activity is dedicated to that one game. That makes sense, right?
Yeah. So it's very much like you wonder who this is for, and it's like, oh yeah, it is for
more people than I
League
realize.
fans, and like especially since League is it's one of those games that is huge in Korea.
Yeah.
Where of course that's exactly who they're going for with it, because I mean that's where they're gonna make their big money is Korea, China, a lot of the East Asian countries where it is a way of life. Like for a lot of people, it's a job more so than it is, it's not as big in the US as it is everywhere else. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think like as a franchise too, it has and that's so much money that and from my last heard too, where they were trying to like branch out and they hired a bunch of like creatives and whatnot to like do like all these different properties, like like a series and like they just have so much that they can just experiment with like these different things, and if it fails, it fails, which is both cool, but also it can lead to bad things, in reply to the weird Seraphine like parasocial thing. Like they're just out there doing whatever, which could some stuff is like, oh, this looks cool, which can lead to very interesting things, but also other things that are like it's not great, and then it's like, oh, you're just doing this because you can throw money at it, and like, oh, let's experiment with it, and that's I think what it boils down to too.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like looking at what Riot is doing right now, where I mean you've got Valorant and you've got their fighting game that's on the way, and it's like, will these even exist?
Right, and I don't even hear much about Valorant.
Weird. Like Valorant is, like I think technically it's out.
That's what I mean. It's like it's been out, but then I don't know.
And I know it actually is pretty popular on Twitch and stuff like that. But it's like you don't see it in most of the circles that like I don't see, like I see it a little more because I run in some of those circles of people who play League of Legends, fighting game people, like the more likelihood of like I know the fighting game is definitely coming, like that's like I mean they've got producers and whatnot in place for it, and you've got really good fighting game people that are already working on it and stuff like that, but it's just like it's a really interesting and weird thing where it's like they're expanding on all these things, and it's still nobody's going to care much other than the outside of the league stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because, Valorant, most people didn't even know you can actually, just go play it pretty easily right now. I mean, if you want Counter-Strike with powers, where even then, it's like the gun still does more, so what's the point of the powers? I don't know, it's weird.
Alright, well, let's see here. LV, hit your last bit of news here, and then I'll hit the last one for me.
Speaking of, games where I, again, someone who doesn't play them, and who, again, you bring a great point, Christine, where, it's probably also just the culture of it is more popular outside of the United States, so that's, that's beyond my scope of perspective, but PUBG, which kind of, in the US, at least, fell off the radar after, such a very hyped up time when it was a thing, right? And now it's just kind of not really talked about in the US, but from my understanding, it's really, it's a big deal in China right now, still. And the mobile version too, the cell phone, the smartphone, the mobile version is popular. So the discussions around Tencent and legitimate discussions too over how invasive they are potentially, and the security issues plus other things in regards to the socio-political scene going on in China. That's still a big thing. It's more nuanced than people can make it out to be. It's just very difficult to talk about, right? Especially if you're not within that actual perspective. So I don't have a right to, I think, talk about it per se. I should not be the voice of reason for that, but some countries are now also, the US kind of had its whole thing, right? With with that
TikTok
debate, right?
And all that,
Yep. And now India is another country where they're kind of taking steps to be no, we don't want Tencent services at all being being processed in our country whatsoever. So the Indian government basically said Tencent Games needs to withdraw their services from our country, and then so that affects something like PUBG, where PUBG Mobile is essentially shutting down for Indian players. So, that's kind of that's really big news in a sense of what is that going to do now from this point on? Especially in regards to the ongoing tenants, and again, it's still a very ongoing thing, so I can't predict what will happen. And again, it's still a very complex thing where I don't think I have the expertise right now, especially, or even the basic expertise to kind of understand what's the deal with Tencent. But it's happening. It's happening. So, and even prior, for a while, India had, Indian access to TikTok is banned. You can't, I think you can't access TikTok from, an Indian, location, for a while now. I think that was been that way for the past year, where you can't, install it. So, yeah, that's, one kind of, a big thing. Mm-hmm. So it's just interesting to see where that will go moving forward. It's still very complicated.
Sounds like it. All right. Last bit of news here. If you were waiting for Cyberpunk 2077, you're waiting more, because it has been delayed until December 10th. They just dropped the announcement on Twitter, and apparently that was also the same time that was revealed to the staff as well, which, that's great. God. Sounds like the reason why they talked about it to PC Gamer. Sounds like the reason why is because it's not running very well on PS4 and Xbox One. So they are still trying to patch that up to make it run well on the old consoles, because it is coming out on the old consoles as well as the new ones. But yeah, I'm honestly not going to be shocked if they delay it more, because if it's not running well, how are they going to fix that in a few weeks? That doesn't sound like something.
And then the whole it's not even expose. People knew this. Come on, the whole thing about the crunch issue and
Yes.
the really bad PR around it and how they're like, it's bad.
Except from PC Gamer. PC Gamer, who is constantly putting out things like, oh, it's not actually that bad. People there are talking about how much
great.
they love it. And it's like, really? Because those internal memos that went to other journalists really don't seem like it.
It's really disastrous too. And I think I literally just saw something like a few ago where like, oh wow, their stocks went down. Well, okay.
Like
Because
after
of this.
PC Gamer posted their article from CEO says crunch isn't that bad, to which the CEO apologized. It's like,
Oh God.
yeah, it's fucking. Like, I don't think I can bring myself to, no matter how interested I am with whatever that game is, I don't think I can bring myself to buy it now.
I also just even the first impressions of like what was first gameplay footage, to me it sounds like this is like kind of for not in like a bad way, you know, like from what I've seen, it didn't look it didn't look outstanding for this to be even worth it. You know, and it shouldn't be worth it. No one should work themselves to death. Nothing is worth that. Mm-hmm. But like all this like bullshit related to the game from start to finish, our emotional turmoil whenever we hear a new update from this game, like all from, you know, our collective here, like what the, you know, it's as humorous and dark as it is, it's just like, I don't know if the game in the end is even worth like what the universe went through, just going through the whole process of this game's development, you know?
Such a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's
like, I feel like it's not, like, you know, again, that, I could be wrong. Maybe in the end it's like, oh, this is spectacular, this is the best game ever. But, like, I don't, like, but then, like, what if the game turns out to be not great? Like, then what happens then? Nothing. Mm-hmm. Nothing. You know?
Yeah.
It's about, you know, it's like a both combined funny and sad feeling. It's like, oh, this is hilarious, but also this is upsetting because people like really worked hard and were not treated well in the process behind us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they got they wasted Keanu Reeves' face for this. Like, come on. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Holy shit.
All right. Y'all ready for questions?
I'm always ready for questions.
All right.
Ready.
If you want to send in a question, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You'll sound like these fine folks right here. These are all Halloween questions, so be prepared to be scared.
Ooh, it's getting spoopy.
So an anonymous user just sent in this one sentence, which I think...
Curse Anonymous.
I mean, I think you asked about Halloween candy, LV, but...
Yeah.
Just, you know, devoid of all context, just the fact that we just got this one sentence by itself is horrifying. Just, I only eat Twizzlers and Sour Jolly Ranchers gummies. That's it.
Oh, well, they need to elaborate a little more on the Twizzlers part, like plain Twizzlers.
Red,
there's also like kind of
black,
different kinds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind are you talking about?
If one says they openly enjoy black licorice, I don't know if that person can be trusted. That seems very, very scary. Like you must have some untold power if you can say that like wholeheartedly.
Clearly outing themselves as a demon.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Bloomhouse presents The Conjuring Universe Black Licorice Twizzlers.
Ugh. Nasty. Right. Horror Errors asks, candy corn, yay or nay? Some understandably think it's too much sugar, but I absolutely love it, and the Halloween season is the only time young people sell the really good kind.
Oh, yes, I love it. Controversial candy opinions. This is what we... Well, I wanted this. I don't know if you two wanted this.
I mean, you know, it's fine. I think people freaking out about candy... Like, candy corn is the Halloween equivalent of pineapple on pizza.
It's a very controversial candy.
Yeah, it's just, you know, if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. It's fine. Like, I think we should all just live and let live, you know? If you don't like candy corn, it's more candy corn for people that do. That's all it is.
The best part of candy corn was elementary school when you had to guess how much was in the jar.
Oh yeah, I remember somewhere. Well, for me, I think it was always jelly beans. right? There was always this, like, always some raffle or something going on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there was a jelly bean count. I don't think I had the candy corn specific one.
I
My
love
specific
candy corn.
opinion. Oh, you do?
I love it. Yes.
Oh, really?
What about you, Elvie?
No, I was gonna say I dislike it. So and it's like not something I buy, of course, obviously for that reason. And if and I don't think I've ever received it either in a long time either. Like I don't think I've ever like sometimes it would just be mixed and stuff. And
Right.
like, I don't think I've ever been in a situation where like I got a bag of candy and it was mixed. Like I don't like it. I don't like. I agree. It's like too sweet. I don't like the texture. I feel like I'm getting a cavity if I eat it. Right. It's one of those things where it's just like it just feels like a dense. It reminds me of fondant now that I think about it. Like it's not. It's harder. It's much harder. But like when you chew into it, like I don't like that. It's like, oh, I'm just like, this is just clay sugar. And it just feels like, it just feels like it's one of those things. I feel like I'm getting a cavity every time I eat it, and it feels wrong. So my body is rejecting it, So
Yeah. I'm kind of meh on most sweets, so candy corn is kind of also in that meh front. But yeah, as I said, I'm a weirdo who doesn't like sweets, so people are like, "Oh, your birthday cake." I'm like, "Enjoy. I'll blow out the candles, but then y'all are eating the cake."
Sure.
So
I just enjoy sweets occasionally. So maybe I'll just go out and get like a bag of candy corn to snack on after Halloween. When it's cheaper.
yeah,
and also I have a tendency to my not real teeth have a tendency to fall off when I chew things like candy corn. So,
candy corn would be like bad for that, definitely.
Yeah.
Like again, it's like a weird hard chewy. It's not completely hard, but again, like clay. I am referring to like slightly hardened clay. As a comparison.
And that's the stuff that's bad for me because it locks in around the tooth and then just pulls it right out. Yay!
And Horror Errors also asks, Dracula, Frankenstein, and a mummy. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm gonna fuck Frankenstein because he's a person. I'm gonna marry Dracula. And actually, you know what? I'm probably gonna marry the mummy. I think the mummy can really just wrap me up tight in her bandages, like a really, really nice hug.
Wrong episode. Wrong episode. We're not on episode 69. Keep it PG. Keep it PG.
I like hugs, okay?
I know we're doing FMK, but PG. PG-13.
I like hugs, and I'm going to kill Dracula because I'm a Belmont.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
LV, how about yourself?
I don't know. Like, so the mummy is a dead person. Is this correct? If I'm gonna go with like what I don't know. I feel like the mummy has to die. Like I don't think they want to be. No, because I don't know if they want. Well, I would ask them. I maybe see them respecting consent here, right? I'm gonna ask them like, do you want this existence?
Listen,
like I don't know. It must feel bad to be like in a half rotten body and you're just like, and your organs are like in a jar, right? It's not great.
They're all into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Christine brings up a great point. I think the mummy would be a nice person, compared to the other two. Because, I don't know. I feel like often the stereotype of like a mummy seen in a lot of media, they tend to be the most harmless because of that. But I think the mummy would be good company. Can be Mary.
Okay.
The stereotypical idea of the sexy, like vampirism associated with sexiness. Yeah, I'd probably fuck the vampire. I might have to kill. So Frankenstein, I feel like actually would be depressed. And
you're gonna put him out of his misery.
Yeah, exactly. Based on every piece of media that depicts Frankenstein, especially if you read the original book by Mary Shelley.
Yes,
he is miserable. He is like, why the fuck am I here? You know,
Okay.
if you actually recall the events of that book, he literally goes through a whole process where his intelligence grows and he becomes more aware of what he is. He's very upset.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, again, I would ask him, but yeah, he'd probably have to go.
All right.
He probably doesn't want to be what he is.
Of course. So, here's my choice. I think I'm just gonna answer the easy one first. I have to kill the mummy. I have a long-standing beef with mummies. I am extremely anti-mummy. I don't like. I listen. They have poop on their wrappings. I guarantee it. It's on there. All right. It's just fucking. It has to have happened because the scarab beetles are rolling around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, scarab beetles, those are dung beetles, alright? So there's poop around there, alright?
It has to go somewhere, you are right.
They have so many riches that they're just sitting on. And that's fucked up. You know, we're always talking about how we have to, you know, just redistribute wealth. Mummies did not do that. They are fucked up. They're sitting on that. That's uncalled for. And then, just... Like, they can, if we're talking, like, not only do they have the dung beetles around, they have powers to shoot scarabs sometimes, and that's even more fucked up. They're basically throwing turds at you. That's just not right. So, yeah, mummies gotta go.
So so, like, one of your points is you want to kill them for, like, their money. Like, the potential wealth this mummy might have.
Potential? Well, okay, I mean, if it's gonna get redistributed, then yes.
Wouldn't you have to marry them first for that to work?
No. Because my next...
You're just gonna steal their...
Because
you're gonna, like, go...
My next point is that I would marry Dracul. Because then Dracul has the fucking castle. And then whatever the fuck happens next... You know, I can indulge a little bit, you know, I'm not above living a little high on the horse here and there, but then you gotta help other people do the same, and I think I'd be okay with that, because listen, the thing is with Dracul here, his fucking problem is that everyone hates him. And that, you know, he wants to have the blood, but I feel like if he had, like, if we're talking modern day, I think if we just got him, like, a hookup with a blood bank or something, and just said, look, dude, like, if you're chill, we're chill, I think he'd be pretty helpful. I think he'd be nice, and that's all we have to do. That's all we'd have to do. And then Frankenstein, I guess, I'd fuck the Frankenstein, just because... Like, you could do all kinds of just, like, wild and crazy shit, you know? He's made up of a bunch of different parts and shit, and you could just go crazy, you know? That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's very kinky.
Gotta, you know, PG-13, but a hard PG-13, you know, the kind where they say fuck. So that's how it goes. Anonymous just asks a simple question here. Happy Halloween, what are your favorite games set during Halloween?
Oh, that's easy. Costume Quest. It's quite an old one, but it's a very cute RPG about these. The first one. There's like two of them. About talking about the first one about these twins where they move into a new town, like in just around the time for Halloween, basically. And they're like, "Oh shoot, we gotta get a new costume," and like. The town gets invaded by like these monsters, and there's a whole thing where their costumes are basically different classes, and it's a very cute thing. Like I definitely recommend it. It's like on the PC you can easily find it. It's a bit old, but I don't know. I wonder if it was a PS2 game. I don't know how old it is, but highly recommend it. It's very cute.
Of course,
yeah.
So I have pulled up the Giant Bomb wiki page. For the Halloween concept. And I think my choice, it's, the whole game isn't set during Halloween, but I will say that the Team Fortress 2 Halloween events are always very fun. So, yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Marasmus and all the bosses that you're fighting.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So that is my choice, is absolutely Team Fortress 2. I'm so glad that they had a new event this year, and that it does seem like TF2 is kind of coming back. It's on the upswing. That's really cool. How about you, Christine? What do you got?
I kind of also have to go with the costume quest. That game was absolutely adorable, and I played through it 3 years in a row now on Halloween. So
yeah, if you have it with the Steve achievements, it recognizes when oh, you're playing it on the wrong holiday, which is a funny thing. And funnily enough, it has a similar I'm going to say this right now. Weird hot take number 2 from the K-pop take was hot take number 1. Hot take number 2. Costume Quest has a similar plot to Genshin Impact from thus what I played so far. It is about 2 twins, and one twin gets separated, and you have to find them. And yeah, it's an RPG about finding your twin. So there you go. There's a cross section there. I'm not saying if you play Genshin Impact you should play Costume Quest, but I am alluding to something there. So there you go.
All right. Good picks. And our last question. If you want to send in a question, go to videogameschoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And you may sound like these fine folks. This fine folk right here. The Mighty Mighty Boss Jones asks, darkness falls across the land. The podcast hour is close at hand. Gamers crawl in search of goo to moisturize hands and fingers too. And whosoever shall act rash without the soul for playing Smash must stand and face a torrent of goo and rot inside of sewer too. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 questions in your ask box. But I am here to ask a simple cue: which Halloween candy most pleases you?
First of all, holy shit.
I am baffled. That's excellent.
Holy shit.
Also thinking they just wrote that within the hour that
Yeah.
I put out the prompt and then we're now recording.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, not 1 hour, but a couple.
Yeah.
But that's
Good.
that's a lot of work. Wow.
Yeah, thank you, Boss Jones. Yeah.
Excellent.
What's our favorite Halloween candy is the question.
So it's hard because it's I have to think in the context of what typically is given out on Halloween and not candy as a whole, right? Oh gosh, I'm a so funny thing. I don't like candy corn, but I like Tootsie Rolls. Tootsie Rolls are often given during Halloween. I like Tootsie Rolls, but so the difference is because I like the chocolatiness, and I feel like the sort of sweetness candy corn has is a little weird to me.
Sure.
It tastes weird to me, right? Mm-hmm. Tootsie Rolls is oh, okay, whatever. It's a weird, chewy, taffy chocolate thing, and I like it.
How do you feel about those different flavored Tootsie Rolls? Have you ever had those?
Yeah, it's very weird because I often and again Tootsie Rolls have a very nostalgic thing to me because I had them a lot as a kid, so and that's also why I'm choosing it. But yeah, I feel like I only discovered those way after, and I was like, what? These are Tootsie Rolls? It is very weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to feel about them. I mean, I like them too. I've had them. I've had the different ones, but it's not something I often associate with Tootsie Rolls. It's more oh, okay, they exist. I have no strong aversion to the fact that they branched out and have other flavors.
Right. So you would say that Tootsie Rolls is your Halloween candy of choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically though the regular flavor.
Regular ass Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah, regular.
Not the pops.
No. Oh gosh, those are so frustrating. I always. So
it's hey, I'm enjoying this flavored popsicle, and suddenly it tastes like taffy chocolate.
And plus the lollipops too are really big. I was like, this is. I don't know. I'm used to I like Dum Dums because they're oh, okay, whatever. You just pop one in and you can hold it. You can be cool and hold it in your mouth, looking like you have a cigarette, but you don't smoke, and it's just whatever. Tootsie Rolls, they're candy. Yeah, the pop part is way too big, and I recall definitely hurting my gums a lot too when I've had them.
Okay.
They're a struggle to eat.
Yeah.
Again, recalling the owl commercials, and when that owl fucking bites in the pop, that's terrifying. Holy
Three.
That's so fucked up. I just think about that and like, oh man, my teeth would break.
Yes, yes, it would. Christine, how about you?
Actually, mine is like the Dum Dum or the Jolly Rancher. Like, I kind of like the hard sucking candies because
Oh, yeah.
I just it's something I can take down. Like there's no risk of my teeth and stuff like that.
Do you like specific flavors? Anything?
Like I really like the grape flavor for some reason.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, like the grape flavor or like also like candies like Runts, the old school banana flavored that doesn't exist anymore cuz bananas went extinct and all that's left is these weird fake things that aren't really bananas.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, that's really it. Like sometimes those little boxes of Nerds, but
yeah.
I like stuff that's that I can just suck on it for like 5 minutes, and yeah, that's about the perfect kind of candy for me.
Okay. And as for John, I am definitely one of those people that likes like little chocolate things. So I guess, like your Reese's, those are pretty good. I mean, my absolute favorite bars, I love Crunch bars and I love Almond Joys. So if you just give me like a little like snack size, fun size, Almond Joys or Crunch bars, I'm fucking set. That's what I would want. If you just gave me that or some Kit Kat bars, that's what I like.
Nice.
That's definitely what I like. So yeah, there you go. That is the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you had a safe and happy Halloween, as happy and as you can be during a pandemic. But, I hope you watched maybe a scary movie or played a scary game or just, did something fun. Because that's what matters. And then I hope that you got some good-ass candy on the cheap. That's what I'm going to do after this. So thank you again for listening. If you want to support us, you can follow us on Twitter at VGCC. You can follow us on Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. We have a Facebook page. Just search up Video Game Choo Choo. We have our Discord server, which is thegamezone.zone. You type that into a web browser and it'll bring you straight there. And once you're there, you can hang out with us. You can chat with us. You can swap all kinds of dumb shit. You can hang out in the voice chat. It's great. We're all in there and we all have a good time.
Yeah.
And of course, thank you to our theme song creator, Magic Circuit, which used to be Melt Channel. You can find their old stuff meltchannel.bandcamp.com, or you can find their new stuff magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. And our theme song is Crush off of the album Magic is Real, which you can find on that Melt Channel Bandcamp, which would be really cool, Go buy it. You can buy Chooch History. Isn't that exciting? And of course, if you want to support us more monetarily, you can go to patreon.com/VGCC. If you give us $3 a month, you gain access to Choochigatari Unlimited Train Works that LV and I do with Rose, which is our bi-monthly anime podcast where we just go in on all the crazy shit that goes on in anime. I'm absolutely ready to talk more shit about anime. And of course, there's videos and other bonus things you can gain access to a whole week early before everyone else. But it's just $3 a month, so you get the access to that. But if you don't want to, again, it's only a week early, so it's not that big of a deal. Now, where can we find the rest of you all? Christine, how about you?
You can find me at twitter.com/judgmentscythe and twitch.tv/judgmentscythe.
All right. How about you, LV?
Yeah, on Twitter, I'm at LV Mayparin, LVMAEPARIN. I'm there. And you can... I'm on a bunch of other things and do a lot of things. You could just... Honestly, my Twitter is pretty centralized. You'll find me retweeting bullshit or saying shit. So if you want that, there you go.
Alright. And you can find me at JOHN_MICHONSKI. That's John Machonsky at Twitter. You have to add the underscore in between my first and last name, because it used to not, but then I got in trouble on twitter.com. But it's okay. And that will do it. Thank you so much for listening. Have a spooky time, and we'll be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. So long.